To introduce this year's commencement speaker, may I call on the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Asian Institute of Management, Mr. Napoleon L. Nazareno.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning. I am deeply honored to introduce our commencement speaker today. Our guest speaker is the Director and President of BDO Unibank since 1998. He graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in Commerce from De La Salle University and obtained his MBA from the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. He has over 15 years of extensive banking experience in the US and Europe from institutions such as Mellon Bank and Bankers Trust Company. In the Barclays Group, he served both as Planning Director and Head of Strategic Planning for Corporate and Institutional Services Group, and as COO for the Financial Institution Services Group of BZW, a Barclays subsidiary. He is a certified public accountant here in the Philippines, as well as in the United States. He is also a member of the Financial Inclusions CEO Forum of the World Bank and IFC. He is a director of the advisory boards of Asia Pacific of MasterCard Worldwide and De La Salle University. He currently serves in the board of trustees of both Pinoy ME Foundation, a non-stock, non-profit organization for the Philippine microfinance institutions, and of course, the Asian Institute of Management. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome a colleague, and I am proud to be his friend too, Mr. Nestor V. Tan.
Thank you, Polly. Mr. Nazareno, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Asian Institute of Management, Dr. Lecrae, President of the Asian Institute of Management, faculty and administrators of the Asian Institute of Management, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before we begin, let me extend my congratulations to three sets of people. First, the graduates. Congratulations. Your work has paid off, and you now have your degrees, which means you can look forward to a great deal more work, involving much harder challenges and in a very short span of time. But you will be ready for these challenges. So, Miss Del Mundo, free time? It depends. Okay. Second, congratulations to the faculty and administrators of AIM. They are the ones that trained you to be ready. And today, the AIM community has produced another batch of young men and women eager to contribute to society. I have great respect and admiration for educators. As you may know, both my parents are educators. They are essential to the progress of our society and our civilization. Again, congratulations to all of you. The third and the last, my heartfelt congratulations to the parents, spouses, partners, friends, and relatives who have supported the graduates assembled here. This is your triumph as well. I am here today because after a couple of decades of working in the banking industry, somebody felt that I have learned a thing or two, which hopefully I can share with you before you move on to the next stage of your career. Actually, I was doubtful, but again, thank you for the honor, and thank you for allowing me to be here with you. But before you get excited, I assure you I will not be discussing globalization, technology, or anything like the nuances of strategy or public policy. These things you know all about by now, or at least I hope you do. I actually had some hesitancy when I got the letter, but Dr. De Cray assured me it will be a short one. I said, that's music to my ears, and I assume that's also music to your ears, because I'm the only one holding you back from your celebration. So let me start with some nuggets of wisdom that I'd like to share with you. And I'll start with a quote from General George Patton. You are a very young group, but for the students of history, you will know him as the flamboyant general of the European theater during World War II. And he basically said, wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won by people. You have your weapons, which is your degree, your knowledge, sometimes, to a certain extent, your wealth and standing in society. But it is your personal attitude that will determine your success in any undertaking you embark on. Your attitude towards work, your attitude towards the competition, your attitude towards leadership, and your attitude towards achievement. Let me start with stating the obvious. There is no substitute for hard work. Talent plus work plus hard work is unbeatable. But talent without effort is a sure recipe for disappointment. As graduates of AIM, you obviously have the talent. The question is, do you have the capacity to sustain your hard work? Every time, in my experience, average talent with a lot of diligence beats extraordinary talent with a poor work ethic. So be ready to move on and build on the work ethic you have developed at the Asian Institute of Management. Next is your attitude to competition. What I'm going to share with you may be counterintuitive. We have been conditioned to think in terms of the competition. It is always the drive for number one, the gold, the best, the biggest. While laudable, it is bound to disappoint, and the position at the top is narrow and, believe me, not tenable. I ask you instead to strive for excellence. Redefine your concept of competition as a race to achieve against the standard of excellence. Make sure that you measure success in terms of excellence. Transactions may be a series of win-lose propositions, but in the end, nobody keeps score on how many times you have won or lost. Only the successful is defined, and oftentimes it is defined as the one who has achieved excellence in their field. And guess what? There is room for us all in that category of excellent achievers. I hope you understand basketball and the NBA. How many NBA Hall of Famers never tasted a championship? A lot. Yet, they deserve to be in the same room with the best. Consider that as your mindset. Consider competition as your motivator. Savor the encouragement and the challenge you get from them, but never take them personally. Isn't it curious that the best companies and industries in the world were bred in an environment of competition? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. Italian fashion, French fashion, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda. And more recently, if you would like to include it, Wall Street. Okay. Third is your attitude towards your career. Think about this. How do you define your career? Or how will you define your career in the future? Will it be your title? Or maybe the perks and your paycheck? Or maybe the number of people working for you? Or the size of your budget? If you think along those lines, please think again. Do not mistake the trappings of success as success. Define your career by your achievements and be patient. They never come at the same pace. Sometimes you will feel like you're accomplishing nothing and suddenly they all come in. And sometimes you get lucky, they all come in one after another and you get spoiled. Just be patient and go for it one step at a time. Okay? As Mr. Tangonan said earlier, the quote from Spider-Man, much is expected from somebody so talented. No less important is your attitude towards leadership. There have been so many books and lectures on the subject of leadership, but at the end of the day, it's quite simple. As a wise man once said, and I believe it's Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, you become a leader because others choose to follow. It is the follower that defines the leader, not the leader defining himself. Titles do not make one a leader. And while titular leadership may be bestowed, real leadership must be earned. To be a leader, you must have a purpose. You must have credibility, you must have courage, and you must have genuine concern for the others who share your purpose. There are books or training that will help you develop the traits I just mentioned. But in the end, it is the follower that defines the leader. Finally, always remember that in business, in your career, integrity is non-negotiable. Of all the assets you build up over time, integrity has the longest shelf life. People might forget what you've done. They might forget a mistake or two that you made, but they will never forget the fact that they can trust you. The other side of that coin is that dishonesty can damage your career, and you may never recover from them. One cannot be honest today, dishonest tomorrow, and honest again the following day. Okay? So pay particular attention to that. For all the talk on hard work, excellence, integrity, and leadership, I save the most important advice for the end, and that is your personal outlook. You look so intense, so serious. So my last advice is relax. Don't take yourself too seriously. Get your priorities straight. For what is success if you don't have someone to share it with? And that's why I am heartened by our honor graduates who brought the people that share their success with them on stage. What is success if it comes at a huge personal cost? Strike a balance between your work and personal lives. Invest in personal relationships, your family, friends, colleagues, mentors, and other individuals, but be sincere. Develop real, lasting relationships. This will give you immeasurable dividends in the long run and give your success more meaning. Hard work, excellence, achievements, leadership, and personal priorities. Your attitude towards them will mean a lot more than your degree, your knowledge, and your network in the long run. Before you walk out of this room today and continue your celebration, I would like to leave you with one more final thought. It is a quote from George Orwell. I don't know if you know George Orwell, and I believe it comes from the book Politics and the English Language. It goes like this. Objective consideration of contemporary phenomena compels the conclusion that success or failure in competitive activities exhibits no tendency to be commensurate with innate capacity, but that a considerable element of the unpredictable must invariably be taken into account. In short, good luck.